My screen is now being recorded. Alright. Here we go.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to a probably 0.5 episode.
No, this is the whole one. This is the whole thing.
This is gonna be a whole episode?
Sure is.
Welcome, everyone.
This is great.
The music might be a little loud.
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
Today...
This is recorded like every other episode.
Today we are without Silas, because he got grounded somewhere.
He sure did.
And now we're gonna try to do this. Just us. Me and Uzziah. I'm sure absolutely nothing go horribly wrong.
You know, I don't even know if you guys can tell a difference, because it's exactly
I think
as
the music's
always.
going on longer than it normally
No,
does.
it always goes on this long. It just feels longer because of the
Because of the volume?
Yeah. Alright.
Well,
Alright, there we go.
today, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna... I don't know what we're gonna... We never have it. We have no conversations pre-planned ever. We just talk.
You know, that's what a good podcast would do, but...
You know, actually though, there is a very quick and easy conversation topic we'll delve into here. Last time on the podcast, last full episode, we brought up how excited we were for the upcoming E3.
Oh yeah, we did.
And now we are left in utter disappointment.
E3 is over, and...
okay. I'll say this. The general consensus is that nothing got shown. And honestly, that's kind of true. Like, none of the big companies like Sony or Microsoft really did anything. Nintendo announced the new Metroid game and teased Breath of the Wild 2.
That was kind of cool.
But it's nothing like other years where Nintendo's been like, yeah, we're releasing Super Mario Odyssey and Breath of the Wild and Mario Kart and we're curing cancer.
Was very sad because I just, you know, I was expecting so much only for there to be virtually nothing. There was a company, Bandai Namco, I'm calling you out. I was really excited for seeing new games, and they spent over a half an hour talking about one game, which for people who like that game series, good for them, man, you know? They got so much in-depth content, but for everyone else who had never even heard of that game series...
What series?
It was so disappointing. I don't even know. It was like some horror game, and I don't do well with horror or anything. I tell everyone that I have a weak heart, which isn't actually true, but I just get scared too easily.
Well, and you know, I kind of mentioned this in some private conversations off the podcast. Personally, I was pretty happy with E3 because there was an absolute truckload of like indie stuff at this time.
I'll give you that. Indie games usually end up good.
Most of it I was really looking forward to because I'm a really big fan of like Devolver Digital. What else is there? There's like 0505 games. What's the one other studio? I can't remember. Anyways, I can't remember the name right now, and I'm not gonna kill myself over not being able to remember it.
Yes, but there was a lot of indie games, which, you know, contrary to popular belief, contrary to popular belief, I love a lot of indie games.
Do people say you don't like indie games, you said?
No, it's just people usually don't expect. People are like, I don't know where I was going with that. My brain just turned out. Oh yeah, people always expect like the big companies to be like the one that are like pushing out all the good stuff. But most of my favorite games of all time are indie games. Like Undertale, great indie game. Cuphead, that's awesome. There's some other ones in there, I'm sure.
Well, and like indie games are like kind of what's pushing the market forward these days, almost. Like, obviously the big studios always have their big studio releases, and a lot of the big studio releases are still pretty good, but it's like things like Cuphead, like are the games that are like pushing the industry forward, or however someone in the actual field would say it, you know? And I think the thing I'm most excited about though was Dark Souls people from Software showing off Elden Ring. Like, I am such a massive Dark Souls fan, and they're just like, look at this, it's open world Dark Souls.
That did look cool, I will admit. There was some stuff that was cool, but from the companies I expected stuff from, I was highly disappointed.
Well, and you know, I don't know. I guess part of the issue is that the world's still on lockdown from a certain virus we shall not name, because
the unnameable. Yeah.
YouTube get angry at us if we say it by name.
Hey, but if you're on Spotify, we're still not gonna say it because that's too much editing.
We don't want to make 2 episodes.
we push one for us saying the word on Spotify and one for us not saying the word on YouTube.
But regardless, I think next year might be a bit better, or maybe E3 will just never happen ever again, and every company will have their own independent thing. Well, although I think E3 still needs to happen because of independent indie studios.
Yeah,
like if there's no E3, then how are startups like supposed to get their name out there?
That is true. There is like, and also like tech companies present at E3. Like Verizon presented at E3. I didn't watch it, but they were there.
They were there.
They did show up, definitely. What did they show? Maybe there was a new Verizon video game I didn't see. You know?
They secretly announced that they had bought every other video game company.
Yeah, maybe that's what I should do. Maybe I should stop expecting from game companies that I know well. I should start looking into good old-fashioned cell phone companies.
You know, well, and you know something I kind of just remembered? A lot of, like, big stuff that could have been announced at E3 to build some hype were like announced a few days beforehand. The new Battlefield was announced like a week before E3.
That should have been.
Why?
Definitely could have saved that for E3, and people would have been like, "This is one of the best E3s ever." People who are excited for Halo Infinite, you know, that was.
That is the one like big game that got announced was Halo Infinite.
That is
not announced, but there was a big progress report.
See, I think that's the big thing, is there wasn't a lot of thing announced. That we were shown more stuff, but even Breath of the Wild 2 was announced 2 years before.
Well, I thought it was only 1 year ago. Was it 2?
It's been 2, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Because they didn't have anything last year because of the big spooky virus.
Only true. The big spooky virus.
I feel like presentations are key, you know? Like, they should wrap everything up in a bow. A literal bow before we present. And they'd like, check out this the shiny ribbon, and then they tear off the ribbon, and underneath the ribbon it shows the new game. That'd be the way to do it.
What else? I'm trying to think anything else cool that I heard from E3, but honestly,
it was disappointing. My expectations were low going in, but even then, man, even then, I was like, wow, dude. Like I was, I don't even know. Why don't other things have like presentations? Like video games always have presentations. Apple and like
Movies. I mean, Apple and stuff used to do presentations.
that's true.
I don't know if they really do them as much anymore.
Not really. They're like, hey, a new phone's coming out. Buy it or don't. But think about if they had like presentations for like McDonald's. How awesome that would be. It's like, coming next summer. Check out the brand new and improved Big Mac. Introducing a whole other patty. There's not another piece of bread. It's just shoved under the first patty. So it goes today is
There's another
Thursday.
there was another Xbox thing today. Yeah, I'm looking through everything that was announced at E3. If there was literally anything else interesting to talk about.
I forgot that there was another Xbox thing. But
who knows if anything.
probably not.
There was a Resident Evil Village DLC announcement.
That is pretty cool, I guess. I mean, I assume that there was gonna be DLC, considering they had some for the last game.
Well, and honestly, like random little side tangent here about that. I thought the DLC that was in Resident Evil 7 was pretty cool because it didn't have much to do with the main game. It was kind of like backstory and little expansions, you know?
That's the one thing that every company does, I will say. Every company has expansions, no matter what kind of company it is. Phones, you got phones accessories.
It seems like a very weird site.
Burgers, you can order another patty.
Get fries.
Yeah, you can get. Okay, let's not get crazy. Okay, fries are a spin-off game. All right, I'm talking about extra pickles.
This is a very strange analogy. This on these points.
Yeah. See, but it's always. I've never been to a place where it's like, this is all you get. All right, stop complaining. If you really wanted to look into it, I'm pretty sure everything in the world has extra content. You just gotta have the money for it.
I will say, I know a lot of people hate DLC because it's like, oh, why didn't you include it in the full game? I think it's honestly like a dumb argument. Because it's like, one, if they included DLC in the base game, the game wouldn't have come out for another, like, year or two.
Yep, that's true.
So, like, come on.
Yeah.
And two, when it comes to DLC, is why... it's like, a lot of the time, it's additions to the base game, you know, like...
Yeah, video games should just be more like burgers. You know, I'm sure they already have another patty pre-made that they can just slap on there. That's all I'm saying. I want all my content in my life to be like a cheeseburger. It does. It's true.
Hold up.
It does.
Doesn't hold up.
Try to find a flaw in my analogy where
I can instantly point one out.
Well, okay.
When you get a burger,
yeah,
you don't receive like a second burger from the company 3 months later.
Yeah, that's why burgers are better. See, but if video games were more like cheeseburgers, I feel like the world would be a better place. And I stand by that.
This feels like
it's not a stretch
to their like script to try to make it appeal to the trendy like Gen Zers. Like,
burgers came before video games.
This doesn't feel like a natural conversation bit at all. You are just doing this for the podcast.
No, it is natural. This is something that would totally come up in a normal conversation.
I don't believe
Just think
you.
about it. They do the opposite now. There's the BTS burger, the BTS Happy Meal over at McDonald's. You know, just do the opposite.
Is it a Happy Meal or is it a full meal?
It's a Happy Meal.
They know they're all the BTS
Yeah,
fans
you
are
think
children.
grown adults are getting? See, that's why the Travis Scott burger was a.
Burger.
You heard me. That's why the Travis Scott burger was a full meal, because people knew what they wanted. People knew Travis Scott fans. They couldn't have made a Travis Scott Happy Meal with a Travis Scott toy. I mean, I would have bought it, but they couldn't have made it. I wouldn't have done well. It would have sold to me and me alone.
This is
Because
going
I'm
so
a
fast.
huge fan. See, I'm a huge fan of burgers. I'm a huge fan of burgers and all things burgers, and the fact that you don't accept that it's really putting a strain. You know what? Silas is never gonna be grounded again. This is what you did. Because you don't accept my love. See, if I brought up the burger video, if I brought up the burger video game thing to Silas, you know what he would have said? I can hear it now. He would have been.
You know
like,
what? He probably would have just not questioned it.
Yeah, not at all. He would have 100% been like, "Well, Uzziah, what other ways are burgers like video? What? Nope, that's not what the conversation was. What other ways do you want video games to be like burgers?" And I'd go, "I'm glad you asked, Silas. Here are some other interesting facts of ways video games would be like burgers." But you were just like, "Well, that's not what a normal person would say." Burgers as video games? What?
This. So anyway,
He wouldn't have even questioned me saying burgers. I said burgers and you were like, "Burgers? Question mark? What is that?" It's a burger, Evan. It's a No, it's spelled the same. Burgers. Burgers.
this is
what,
gone too
Evan? Gone too far? I think it hasn't gone far enough. Because I'm a burger guy. My question is, what do you have against burgers, Evan, huh?
I don't.
You don't what? You don't have anything against burgers? I find that hard to believe. Consider your anti-burger propaganda. That's not how normal people wouldn't talk about burgers. What you saying that people who like burgers are weird, Evan?
This is completely and utterly out of control, and I apologize to all.
No, they're with me.
listeners.
They're with me. People of, we're gonna run a poll on our Instagram: burgers or no burgers.
This makes
That's the poll. Burgers or no burgers? Huh? You anti-burger?
this is just. This is nothing. Okay, the original conversation was just nonsensical, but this isn't even related. We aren't even close to the original conversation.
That's because you were so
were talking
anti-burger that you've completely derailed my entire ideals. You derailed my ideals, which revolved around the fact that if video games were like hamburgers, we'd be in a happier state of being. And you smacked me in the face. You smacked me in the face and you said you're a dumb idiot for wanting hamburgers, for wanting burgers to be like video games. And I said, "Why, Evan?" And you said, "Look at all the flaws," and then you gave one flaw. I think you're just a hater, bro. I think you're just a hater who can't accept. You're one of those people who take whatever's in front of them as absolute certainty. You go, "This hamburger could never could never be a video game. And I said, you wait and see. That's like this Big Mac. You know what? I will wait 3 months for an extra burger if I paid for it. You know?
Wait,
no, that's the opposite. No, that's the opposite. That's the opposite. Wait.
Because you were like, DLC is bad because you get it later.
No.
And, why don't they give you the full burger immediately?
No.
And now you've gone back. What? You absolute
You know what?
fool.
No. Forget what I just said about turning back. I turned back again. And I think truly that hamburgers and video games should be one and the same. Forget a BTS meal. Where's my Mario Kart meal? Huh?
I mean, there has been Mario Kart toys.
Well, I want a meal, and I want a Big Mac with a mustache, and it's called the Big Mario.
I don't think they've ever put accessories on the food. I think it's just how the celebrity likes their meal.
Video game consoles put accessories. You can buy like a Zelda Wii and stuff like that. I want a Mario Big Mac. I want a Sonic slushie, but not a slushie from Sonic. Don't get confused by that.
A Sonic slushie from Sonic.
A Sonic slushie. From Sonic. It's the most obvious crossover that's never happened. It only makes sense. It's like, have they seriously never done a crossover? Sonic, the video game, the blue hedgehog. Literally, you could just sell a blue slushie and be like, "It's the Sonic slushie."
A blue slushie with like a red.
Yeah, and you could be like, "Hey, look, it's the Sonic slushie from Sonic," and people would go crazy. Remember when they sold like a disgusting unicorn slushie or whatever it was from Starbucks? You can get away with anything as long as you say it's cool. You just gotta tell people it's cool. If you tell people it's limited edition, they will buy it. Because people are sheeple, are weak-minded. Hey, go buy Big Macs. I bet you what, someone's gonna listen to this podcast and be like, "Hey, sounds pretty good right now, Evan."
What?
A hamburger from McDonald's.
You know,
a hamburger.
You know, I think next episode is just we all need to just do our own episode.
We all need to do our. I feel like I'm alone here, Evan. I feel like I'm alone just because you're so anti-hamburger right now.
I'm not.
You're not pro hamburger. I can tell you that much. You're not pro hamburger. Hey audience. You want to know what I just looked at in the little so we have a Instagram group chat that we go to talk about before we do episodes and to send memes to each other, and I just looked at it, and Evan just sent, "Silas, please, we are going insane." Do you want to talk about that, Evan? Huh? You want to talk about that? Set 1 minute ago. 1 minute ago. So you stopped playing the game. I'm breaking immersion right now. You stopped playing the game, died in the video game just so that way you could text him, "We're going insane." Do you want to talk about that, huh, Evan? I didn't realize you were so anti-hamburger that you'd call in our co-host and say that we're going insane. I'm perfectly sane. I know what I'm talking about. Answer me, Evan. Answer me. Why are you anti-hamburger?
I
Answer me. You're what, Evan? You're what? I'm waiting!
So, audience, have you ever looked at something and just thought, all of my hope of salvation is gone?
Yeah. What'd you look at, Evan, huh?
Nothing.
Is it that Silas? Is this that Silas said what? Sorry, going to be late in the group chat, huh? Is that why? He's grounded. I've kept him busy. I sent him on a scavenger hunt.
Kidnap his family.
No, I sent him on a scavenger hunt. You wanna know what? For $3. I owed him $3, and he was so desperate for it that I gave him the clues of where I would meet him, and I lied to him, and I said they're they're at the top. They're at the top of the tallest tower in town, and he hates alliteration, so he's going there just to.
Wouldn't that be like a library that's like?
Yeah, we have a very tall library, and it's closed right now. So I bet you he's having some trouble getting in, and that's why he's going to be late. And there's nothing you can do to stop it, Evan.
This is like so quickly turned from like a normal discussion about E3 and all of that stuff.
That's because I'm in charge now, baby. That's because I'm in charge now, baby. This is my podcast right now.
This is insanity.
Every time that Silas is here, he shuts down my crazy ideas, and he stops them in his tracks. But you're so anti-hamburger that you can't take it. That you just want to stop talking about hamburgers altogether, and I won't let you. There is absolutely nothing you can do to stop me. I'm too powerful
like
right
a
now.
Bad gunman.
I am the law.
Gotta help. Are you familiar with the term skin insanity?
No, I don't. What is that?
It's like it's usually specifically used with people who are constantly gambling for like CS:GO skins, but since then it's gained a general new meaning of just general gamer insanity. I think you have that.
This has nothing to do with me being a gamer. You know what we should call this? We should call this sesame seed insanity, because I'm crazy for burgers.
As soon as Silas gets in here, you're gonna just completely drop this.
I don't know.
Act like nothing's wrong.
There is nothing wrong with this. You're a coward. You're afraid of my raw power and control over the situation. I said going now.
This was your plan
we're going right now, and there's nothing you can do to stop me.
This was your plan your whole time.
I
can't believe it.
I am inevitable. Much like Thanos, this was destined to come. The second I said that Silas was grounded from the episode, I knew that this was
like
gonna happen.
In the making.
This was destined to become reality, and there was no way that you could have stopped it. I've seen 1,001 possibilities, and everyone ended like this. With you desperate and crying out for some savior to come, only to realize that the savior was here all along. It was me, Evan. I'm saving you from yourself, you sad, sad man. Can you taste it, Evan? Can you taste the hamburger, Evan? Say it. Say you can taste the hamburger.
This whole thing has just
Say it!
You know what? No. You know what? This can't stand any longer. You come to me and you talk about being the hamburger guy. Guess who went and worked at Burger King for 6 months? Guess who stepped on the lettuce?
You have merely adopted the hamburger. I was born in it, molded by it.
That movie's like a little old now, so people aren't even gonna know what you're referencing.
No, everyone's gonna know. They're gonna know exactly what I'm referencing.
It's sad because I actually think some people might not get the reference.
You're too young to be listening to this podcast. Go get get your BTS Happy Meal. And it's what's an old timey word for and skedaddle. Go get your. You're not old enough for a Travis Scott burger. Go get your BTS Happy Meal with the BTS accessories that I imagine is just boy band hair. And there's
I have a cold.
You're dying, I'm pretty sure. My essence is too powerful. I am the mystery box. Go ahead, reach inside, Evan. What you think you're gonna get, Evan, huh?
There's nothing I can do here, and the biggest problem is because if I just try to bring up any conversation topic, you're gonna lose it. You're gonna go like, oh, you're running away from reality.
No.
Oh, what is the difference between a man and a parasite? Oh.
You know what, Evan, what would you like to talk about? Go ahead.
I don't even know. We don't have any pre-planned topics.
Go ahead, Evan.
There's a lot of stuff I can complain about.
I'll give you some time.
I feel like it's not appropriate.
I'll give you some time to think, Evan. Go ahead.
Again, there's a lot of stuff I could complain about, but I feel like it's not appropriate. You know, if you want me to use it, I'll get into it, but you'll immediately you'll immediately know how horrible of an idea it was.
No, don't get into it. We'll just talk more about funny hamburgers and insanity.
So recently, fuck.
What? Okay, so what happened?
You can immediately tell how upset I was.
Yeah.
Recently, Scott Cawthon, the maker of FNAF, retired because he was outed to be a Republican.
Yeah, I saw this.
The only thing he did wrong.
I saw that, and it disgusted me. I love Scott Cawthon in all of his games.
This is a rant that I feel like is so pointless to have because almost everyone knows. But I feel like I need to have it anyways. Twitter sucks so much. It is just the worst thing ever.
Twitter is the only thing that can.
No.
It makes so it's worse than me. It makes so little sense what everyone on Twitter wants to cancel.
Of happiness from the universe.
That's literally the only way to describe it. It's a happiness vacuum. There have been multiple times where I've gone on Twitter and I've just been like, hey, let's see what people are talking about today. Only for 5 minutes later for me to throw my phone at my wall. Just in pure rage. It's usually If you ever think your life is too happy, people, go on Twitter and check trending, and maybe go down to like number 20 on trending, and you will just find something to enrage you. Or it's like, did you know that? No, I have no examples. Because it's so genuinely like, it's dumbfounding how insane people get on Twitter.
It's like, I don't know, and I mentioned it. I immediately opened Twitter to look for some examples about how garbage people on Twitter are. And there's a good tweet here from Moist Critical, mentioning how people on Twitter have recently cannibalized, like the Minecraft Twitter community, who goes around ruining people's lives, has now started consuming itself. Because like Tommy Innit was like, guys, I have to go to therapy because Twitter is such a dumpster fire, and they're like, how dare you call us? How dare you call Twitter bad? We are the best place on earth. We have never done anything wrong. How dare you?
It's so
bad.
It's so bad. Like, there are people just in life who literally do nothing but go out of their way to try to ruin other people's lives. Where they're like, this person who does absolutely nothing wrong shouldn't have a platform just because I don't like them personally.
Well, and I've kind of had an epiphany recently about what the exact issue is. You want to know what the exact issue is? People on Twitter expect every content creator, every celebrity, every human being on Earth to be an omniscient, perfect being since birth.
If you want someone who's like good family-friendly content, go watch Coco Melon for the rest of your days, and you will never have to complain about anything ever again.
Not that even. You want to know what it is? They like someone made a great. This is something I read from another person. I don't even remember who it was, but it was like a post being like, why do people want content creators to be perfect and know about every issue, correct opinions on it?
No.
Because like one of the main things is like, oh, why do these Minecraft YouTubers who play Minecraft for a job have to be aware about every single issue facing racial minorities and LGBTQ people and
Evan,
the political system of America when some of them live in the United Kingdom?
Yeah, you said something so perfect, and I don't even think that you realize. All of Twitter can be summed up in one sentence that you said, and it's that they want people to have the correct opinion on something, when there's no such thing as a correct opinion on something. That's literally what it is.
There's wrong opinions, but there's not correct opinions.
There are definitely 100%. That's the wrong opinion to have, but there is very rarely a thing where it's like, this is the 100% correct opinion that you should have on something.
Mm-hmm. It's like, oh my god.
Every time that people are like, well, this is a correct opinion, it's either just a very harsh opinion or it's a fact. Where it's like, I think people should eat food so that way they don't die. That's not an opinion.
Okay, and I'm not going to get too in-depth into this because the whole Scott Cawthon situation quickly becomes very political.
And immediately, yeah.
I don't want to do that. But what I will say is I have the personal belief, you can disagree with this, and if you do, I have the belief that, while you may not agree with people's political views, you should at least be able to respect them.
Oh,
unless
yeah.
They are objectively wrong.
Yeah, 100%.
I am a neo-Nazi.
Nope.
Don't respect that guy's opinion.
Yes.
But if someone's like, I support the Republican Party,
I'm
you
like,
should be able to respect
cool,
them.
yeah. I'm like, yeah, I get that.
Because what the Twitter people did is they saw Scott Cawthon's, party alignment and the fact that he donated towards a Republican Party candidates, and they were like, okay, so you support the Republican Party, including all of the people in the Republican Party who hate gay people and who hate not white people who are racist.
It's like
in policy with China.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, nope, if you support one political view of a party, you support that party in its entirety.
Yep.
Which issues are two-dimensional, and I don't think a lot of people
it's
are not
so...
two-dimensional. They're three-dimensional. Whatever.
What dimensions?
They're complicated.
They're 4 dimensions. They're a black hole that consumes itself.
Even a not close friend, like a person I'm in a Discord server with, and the Discord server is comprised of mostly close friends. That's the accurate term to say.
Mm-hmm.
I was talking earlier today, literally about this situation, and one guy in the server was just like, "No, you can't support the Republican Party. They're just horrible people all around."
First off,
like, no, that's not true.
Second off, see, but I think that's people's always immediate thing where it's like, well, you like this thing, and because there are some horrible people within this group of people, you're immediately that person.
Extreme example here, but what if Hitler liked Minecraft? Would Minecraft then be horrible?
yo, what the heck? You're a Nazi because you play Minecraft? It's like, no, I play Minecraft because I play Minecraft. There was a thing that I saw where it was a super horrible channel that was trying to defend why Hitler was good, and it was like, well, Hitler liked puppies. It was like, okay, cool.
He had a dog. That he killed while he committed suicide.
All right, cool. But if that was nowadays, it'd be like, why owning a dog is bad, and it'd be multiple Twitter threads being like, well, if you own a dog, obviously means that you're a Nazi.
You're just like Hitler. That's that simple.
It's that simple. Let's not overcomplicate things here, okay?
Everything is one-dimensional. There's no complexity.
If you have any kind of mustache, you must hate gay people. That's it. That's how simple it is.
Is this, bro? This podcast is gonna do some numbers. We're just gonna we're gonna gain a crowd, and none of them are gonna like us because it's all gonna be people from Twitter.
Not at all. That'd be great. I fun of relentlessly.
It's like, listen. All right, let me be a little nicer. People on Twitter, you are not okay, no, I don't. How can I even say this, dude? I don't.
Oh, by the way, there's a very clear difference between people who use Twitter and people who are on Twitter. On Twitter, if you spend 24 hours of your life,
I guess that's the important line to draw. I bring this up a lot, probably more than necessary, but I have the very strong opinion of often the worst parts of a group of people aren't actually the biggest group of people.
Yeah.
It's just they're the loudest. And so a lot of people on Twitter are fine. There's a ton of cool artists, and I mean most YouTubers use Twitter because it's a good social media platform to use. But people who, like Twitter people, quote unquote, are just the people who have this horrible perpetuation of cancel
culture. Yeah.
That's really the problem we're talking about, is cancel culture. And I think it's not, I don't know. And here's the other thing, is I thought it was a pretty universal opinion that cancer culture is bad.
Cancer culture.
Anyways, I think it's a pretty universal opinion that cancel culture is bad. But I actually got proven wrong the other day, because Technoblade, another Minecraft YouTuber, people in the audience might be aware of.
I love him.
But if you aren't aware of him, He's just a really popular Minecraft YouTuber because he's really good at the game. Anyways, he did a episode. He did an episode and was making a joke about Twitter, and he was just like, everything was getting canceled so fast, people thought it was Twitter, and it was like, haha, obvious joke about cancel culture on Twitter, and people got so upset about it. Like, I thought people were proud of being perpetuators of cancel culture. I thought it was like a ribbon they wore on their chest. Like, yes, I ruined this person's life, and I'm glad about it. Because that's what they say in their profiles. They literally say, I'm really glad this person's life got ruined.
Mm-hmm.
But no, when they get called out for it, they're just like, how dare you? I've never done anything wrong in my life. I've never been a part of cancel culture. What do you mean?
Or present and nitpicking everything to try to paint them in the worst light to deplatform them. That is not an actual definition. I just made that up. But I feel like that's pretty accurate.
Close. That is pretty close to like an actual definition.
Yeah. You just want people who have a platform and who have an audience to no longer have said platform or audience. And it's dumb.
Well, yeah, and I think, and it's kind of funny because most of the time cancel culture is done to content creators on YouTube, but it does occasionally actually affect normal celebrities, which I think is like crazy because for the most part, normal celebrities. This was another thing that was kind of brought up in that like, why should content creators be perfect thread? They're like, most celebrities aren't held to the standards that YouTubers are. Which is weird, you know?
Yeah,
like,
well, because most YouTubers aren't seen as like normal celebrities, even though Logan Paul was part of changing that. Remember when he hugged that? That happened pretty. That happened before the last podcast. I mean,
Floyd.
Yeah, the Floyd Mayweather versus Logan Paul fight. Very disappointed. I watched it in a Discord group, but but anyways, yeah, it's always a huge thing where it's like YouTubers shouldn't be allowed their own platform.
Well, and it's like the reason I bring this up is because like occasionally celebrities do catch cancel culture. Like when Kevin Hart was forced to resign from Grammys, or I think that's what it was.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was because people trying to cancel him. Like, that was one of the rare cases where they actually went after a normal celebrity. And it's like, that whole situation sucked really hard too. Because it's like, not only did he apologize for it multiple times in the past, but like people still thought he was really bad. Like, I don't get that situation. People were like, oh, you apologized in the past and you don't want to do it again because it sets a bad precedent. Well, screw you, Kevin Hart. You're a bad person.
Yeah, I think that's always the weird thing, is that they're so fast to reprimand people, and you'd think that if, like, the genuine people that participate in your bad ways, and it's usually like, hey, that happened years ago, and I'm definitely not that same person nowadays. But then you got the other half of people who are like, yeah, I realize that you apologized for it, but still the fact that you did it in the first place makes you a bad person.
Well, and it's something, I guess that's one thing that everyone's almost kind of realized about cancel culture, is that, and that's why we have these prejudices against them that we do. It's like, we have kind of learned, the entire internet has kind of learned, that they don't want people to apologize. They don't want people to change. They just want them deplatformed.
Yeah.
That's not helpful. That is just hurtful, you know?
Alright. Now, also, another extreme example of that, if we were to go, hey, Hitler has a Twitter account. Let's get him deplatformed. Alright, he's deplatformed. Cool. Doesn't mean that he's not gonna still do the messed up stuff that he's doing. He just doesn't have a place to talk about it anymore.
Yeah, I do get what you mean. I don't know if that example works as well, because it's like,
Oh no, definitely not. But
but I get what you mean. The big thing about like deplatform, like, of course, I get what you mean. People who get deplatformed can still go out and do horrible things, but most of the time when someone's deplatformed, they just like they don't
yeah,
have anything to do now. Their life has been just like ruined, basically.
mm-hmm,
But if you like deplatform like a political figure, uh, they'll just go on and keep doing, like it's. But that's not really what I was getting at. What I was getting at is like I don't know. It's just so scummy because like again the Kevin Hart situation. He has apologized in the past. He's very obviously changed, yet people weren't happy about that. There's this one YouTuber I literally learned about this. Like I had no idea who this guy was, and then he got canceled, and I learned about him. There's this guy named like Ice Poseidon, who was like a really controversial streamer. He got canceled, left the internet for like a few years, came back, rebuilt his like reputation and stuff, and then people learned that he'd been scummy in the past, and so they went after him and tried to cancel him again. And he's like, I've changed. What's the big deal? Like, I've apologized and I've changed. Why are you guys trying to cancel me again? And it's just like, no, you haven't changed. You're still racist. You're still sexist, whatever. I don't know.
mm-hmm. Whatever he
Guy
was
had
getting canceled for.
the guy had genuinely been scummy in the past, but he had changed and improved himself since then. And they didn't care.
Yeah, well, so I think the real question today is, Evan, I think we can both agree that you should be deplatformed for your hate of Hamburger.
No, I've accidentally brought it back around on myself.
You should be deplatformed for your hate of Hamburger, unless, of course, you changed your ways.
Even then, no.
Even then, that's no. And you know what? You never know what you're gonna get, and that's the end of the podcast.
Did you?
We've
Thank you, everybody.
we've actually hang on, no way, I gotta get the music back up.
Just let it be edited in.
No, there is no post. There is no post. I'm gonna draw a stick figure thumbnail, and then I'm gonna send this baby out. Actually, no, I do gotta send it to Silas eventually because of I don't know how to get it on Spotify or on the YouTube channel, so I am gonna have to send it to him.
Right.
Yeah, but we gotta talk for this next full minute.
Thank you, everyone, for watching this very heated episode of Mystery Box Podcast.
Heated and insane episode.
This is probably going to be our most hot episode. But you know what? Maybe that will mean it will be our most viewed.
Oh yeah, we are. This is definitely going to come back again in our futures, and we are going to be canceled because of it. But
I'm looking forward to it, dude.
I am,
because you know what? If you're big enough to get canceled, that means you've made it, baby.
That's so true. All right, everyone. I'll rate this episode a solid knife. Just a knife.
Is it just getting worse every episode?
Oh, absolutely.
Man, it sucks that Uzziah and Evan both got canceled after that episode. Gosh, I cannot speak. I've been editing this episode the whole time, and let me tell you, worst episode ever. I mean, without Silas, this channel is kind of going downhill. So I'm gonna just go unsubscribe. Yeah, maybe the next episode will be better. I mean, we'll probably have Silas in it. You know what I'm saying? Nah, I just wanted to join at the end. I wanted to feel included in this episode. Hope you like my little dialogue in the middle. And I actually really like this thumbnail. Alright, I just wanted to say something in this episode. Bye.